Yeah, hi there. So continuing with our tutorial on imputation of rare category in a categorical variable. So this is the continuation of the last tutorial. Okay. So what we had done, we had in the in the last tutorial we had covered this function which we have written, which is called as the rare and underscore imputation. What it does, it gets two data frames, train and test, and the variable. What it does, first it finds the most frequent category for the given variable or for the given column in the trained data set, and then it finds all those categories in that column which are rare, that is below the threshold I'm taking as a 5%. Then using the two approaches, it is calculating two additional columns. First column is variable underscore frequency or variable underscore frequent, where it actually, what does it, it replaces the rare uh, categories by the most frequent category. And in the second approach, it will create another column called as variable underscore rare. There it will replace the rare categories by the word rare. In a way, it is creating another category which is rare. Now, one thing to notice, whatever changes we are doing in the uh, train dataset, the same changes we need to apply into the test dataset. So that is why I am passing both train and the test dataset together. For us, let's say in the train dataset, if we identify some category as a rare category, okay, then we have to impute that category in train at the same time in the test also. Let's say somehow that category is not rare, it doesn't come out rare in the test, but then again also we have to impute it. So whatever we are doing, whatever steps we are following for the train, the same steps we have to apply on the test data set, so that they both follow the same logic and are in sync in terms of imputation. Now after applying, now once we are ready with the function, what we can do, we can call this function passing our train and the test data set, and one specific column I am passing, which is again categorical column. And after it is after it does the imputation, now what I'm doing is I'm just finding all the columns, because in imputation method it creates two additional columns. So whatever column we are passing, along with that, that will remain unchanged. So it creates two additional column. One is with underscore FREQ, that is frequent, indicating that the rare categorical value is replaced by the most frequent value, and the other column it creates is with underscore rare, indicating that the rare category values are replaced by the word rare, that is in a way creating a new category rare. It, we can use some other name also, like other, or something else, but I'm using rare just because that's the topic. Okay. Now after imputation, if I call this function display category percentage, what we are getting is this. So this is our original column in which these are the different categories with the percentage are present. So this remains unchanged. Now we created two new columns in our imputation function. One is with underscore FREQ, and the other one is with underscore rare. So if you see in the frequent method, this particular category which was coming as a separate with 1%, that is not coming here. Why? Because that got replaced by the most frequent category, which was none. So now this 1% gets added to none. So none is now coming as 61.1% here, and that particular category BRKCMN is no more there. So that was the approach to replace any rare category, that is merge it with the most frequent category. The other approach that is I'm following here is the rare, in which we are just replacing the rare categories with the rare keyword. Now in this particular case, this approach does not make sense. Why? Because whatever was there initially, the same thing is here. It's just that the category label has changed from that particular value to this value. Otherwise, there is no change. So it's better. in such cases where the threshold value is very less, to better to merge it with the most frequent. So now we have only three categories. So this approach will be better in this case. But that's not the golden rule. We have to see other variables as well. Okay. Now I'm taking another variable called as external quality, and I'm performing the imputation of the rare category on this particular column for the train and the test data set. And after the imputation is done, I'm just displaying the columns with their percentage of category. So this was the original categorical column with the different categories and the distribution of the categories. Now, if you see in the most frequent method, uh, after the imputation, we get only two categories. Why? Because those two were less than the threshold 5%. These got merged with the most frequent. So 2.9 and 1.2 is 3.9 and 4.1. So 4.1 gets added to 62.6. So it becomes 66.7 percentage. So the dominant category becomes more dominant in this case, and the rare categories are not there anymore. Whereas in the other case, where we are replacing the rare category by the rare keyword or the rare word, so the rare categories like 2.9 and 1.2, they get added into another category they formed as 4.1 percentage of rare. Even though that looks reasonably okay, but again this rare category is still less than 5% of what our threshold is. So again, for this particular variable also, it is better to merge it with the most dominant category. Now let's take the column which is a high cardinality column. So high cardinality column means column which has, so a categorical column which has a number of categories. So in this case, what we are assuming that any column which has more than 10 categories, we are calling it as a high cardinality column. So first I'm writing a function which is to get the high cardinality columns. So the way it works is it basically this is the list comprehension. So for each column in the data frame, okay, if the column type is object, okay, and if the number of unique values is more than 10 for that column, then I'm calling that column as a high cardinality column, and I'm just returning the list of such columns using this function. Now, once we create this function, what we can do is we can get a list of high cardinality columns, and then we can apply imputation on such high cardinality columns. So I'm just looping through the list of high cardinality columns that I'll get from this function for the train data set. And once I get each column, then I'm applying the function rare imputation. That is, I'm imputing that particular column both in train and the test data set, and then I'm printing that imputation is done for that particular column. So in this way, it it found one, two, three, four, five, six columns which were high cardinality. It means there were six columns in which number of categories was more than 10. Now let's see, let's take one or two columns, high cardinality columns, and see how it happened after imputation. So I'm taking two columns, lot frontage and neighborhood, and I'm just trying to see. So taking this first column, which is a lot frontage, if you see, it was having different distribution. Now if I see that after the applying of imputation, we got only three categories. And for the rare, another category was created as rare, which was 66.8. What it did, it all those categories which were below the threshold, they all got accumulated, and a new category was formed as a rare category. So this is a better approach to create a new category as a rare category when there are a number of columns uh, columns which are rare, and they all should be accumulated together and to form a new category. Now similarly, let's take another categorical column, neighborhood, in which these many categories were present initially. If you see, uh, our threshold was 5%, so these many number of categories were there which were above our threshold. That is, if I include 5% also within our threshold, then so these many are fine, but all those things, all those categories which were less than 5% are these. So if I follow the most frequent method, what it will do, it will accumulate all these and merge it with the most frequent, which is name. So initially name was just 14.8%, and with the most frequent method, it got, you know, jumped to 58.8%. So this is really giving an impression that names is the most dominant, and it got more dominant because of this method. So in this case, this is not the right approach. In this case, the right approach would be to merge all these categories which were rare, that is below our threshold of 5%, and create a new category called as rare, which is 44%. So the other categories remain intact. So in this way, we do not disturb other categories. Their distribution still remains the same. But what we are doing is all those categories which were lower than the threshold, that whatever threshold we are taking, 1%, 3%, 5%, depending upon the data or the problem, we are creating a new category. So in this way, we are still retaining the fact that, okay, this data point belongs to some rare category which is not very common, and it does not impact the distribution of other categories. So that's it in this session. Thank you.